Hi, I'm Q with ThisIsRnB.com, and today we have Grammy-nominated, award-winning singer, songwriter, Mr. Smooth himself, Kenny Lattimore. Thank you so much for taking time to speak with us tonight.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. So let's just get right into it. You've been in the industry for over 2 decades.
Absolutely.
With phenomenal success.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please, what do you attribute your success and longevity to?
You know what? Faith in God. Because the industry has changed so much through the years. So I can't say, oh, I just had this great promotion and this, certain things happened for me like some other artists. And I'm not comparing in any other way except that sometimes you can attribute your career to having a big company behind you for the entire time period. Or big management companies or record companies, but I never had that. As a matter of fact, I did do big record company business, but I recorded for almost 10 different major labels. Recording for 10 different major labels means that you're starting over every single time. So really, I was not in a position to have success. So it's really by the grace of God that people have stuck with me, and I've been able to find creative collaborators and partners that understood my legacy and would also challenge me in this new generation of music to continue to create.
And I know out there you heard all of those Philadelphia fans screaming for you, loving you. The energy was amazing. I'm telling you, you put on a great show. So why did you choose Philadelphia first?
Wow. One, I know a lot of people, and I should have said this in the show, I created a lot of the music here that people may not realize it, but almost the entire album From the Soul of Man was done here. I continued to come back, and when I did my Anatomy of a Love Song albums, several of the songs were done here. I was blessed to give the DJ Jazzy Jeff and his production crew called A Touch of Jazz their first major label placement. It was a movie called Love Jones. And then after that, they were so amazing. They were so talented. I was like, I want to stay here. And they're like my brothers. So I was like, I'm going to stay here and record this thing From the Soul of Man and let these new young producers kind of cut their teeth on my record because they were just that good. So Philadelphia is one of the homes of Kenny Lattimore Music foundationally. Yeah.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So today you released Lose You.
Ah, yes.
And
Pressure was right before that.
So why did you, was it a strategic, I guess, what was your method behind
It's very different. Losing You Second. Well, what happened with the project is, one, the strategy of the label is SRG is my partner that does the marketing and promotion with me, is to release 4 singles before the album comes out. So from this point, 2 weeks from now, there's another single coming, and then 2 weeks after that, there's going to be another single coming. The idea of streaming is totally different now, where there used to be a time where you released a song and you worked it until it became number 1 or what have you. But in streaming, you put it out and people discover it on playlists and things like that. So we put Pressure out there, and Pressure performed very well, like over 1 million streams or what have you. And it was just time for the next one. But Pressure was also one of the first songs that I recorded for the album. I said, I think I got a song that could be a single. This song has got some heat to it. It's something different on it. Sure. So when I did that song and I gave it to the label, they were like, whoa, we were not expecting this. And we had a lot of fun with that. But then one day I was sitting in the car and I was listening to some songs and everything, and my CEO, Claude Villani, called me. He calls a lot, and he just checks up on me and everything. He's very involved in the project. And he says, you got something else for me to hear? And I was like, oh, man, what am I going to play for Claude? A lot of times when an artist is playing music for a record company, you're strategic because you don't want to do anything that upsets the balance of what's going on. And I said, well, I've got something. I had no intentions of Lose You being a single. I was like, I got something that's like some R&B, hip-hop, poetry kind of thing. And I played a song, and he lost it. And he said, oh, my gosh, this song is so amazing. This is so great. And he just got so excited about it. I'm sorry. He said, this should be the next song that you put out. So I was like, you know what? As long as you drive it because it's hard being an artist and being objective about what you do. Mm-hmm. Because you internalize so much of it, you critique it so much. But if you have somebody on the outside just say, hey, this is, what we like or we think fans will like, I was like, cool, let's try it. And then he chose 2 more songs after that. I told him, I said, you keep choosing the songs because I did not record anything on this album that I'm ashamed of or that I don't want out. So.
Did I say he was right? Or
Hey,
both of you were right?
okay.
I mean, we listened to Lose You, and it kind of put me in the mood. I was like,
Oh, man, thank you.
Yeah, I love it.
So when we come back at the top of the year, that song will be in the show. But it'll be a whole different production because Lose You, it deserves lighting, video, some other things to make it come alive for the audience in the show. So this is our intimate moment, celebrating Sis Don't Settle, the book with my wife. This is something special that probably you will never see again, actually, because Faith doesn't, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Faith doesn't go on the road like this and do, shows. But when I come back, I'll be definitely doing Lose You during that time period too.
I can't wait. I can't wait. And so since you mentioned Sis Don't Settle,
Yes.
which by the way is like, I hope everybody goes out and grabs this book
Oh my gosh,
right
yeah.
away. Your wife is phenomenal, beautiful,
Thank you.
smart.
Thank you, yeah.
So whose idea was it for you guys to tour together?
We kind of both came up with this idea because she mentioned last Valentine's Day, let's do something virtual together. So we did something called An Evening of Love, and it was a conversation and concert, but of course it had nothing to do with the book because the book wasn't out. So she did some anecdotes, just talking about love and relationships, and then I did the show kind of like this. But the closer the book came, I said, what do you think about your book tour being a conversation and concert? Because what other author can do that? We would stand out. I think it would be something really different that the people would enjoy again, and making it intimate, not going to arenas and big theaters and all that, trying to do it like it's this big way out concert, but an intimate conversation, and then let me sing intimately, with the people. And so we kind of organically put everything together, and we didn't know we just kind of figured it out. This is authentically what I would do. This is authentically what you would do. And we would just support each other in that. So I'm excited about it because it's working. Philadelphia put their stamp on it tonight.
That's right. The crowd was going crazy, and I love that. That's actually a great idea. You two together. You're handsome, she's beautiful, and together your synergy. You guys are making moves out here. I love it. And then your album is called Here to Stay.
And that's going to come December 3rd.
So why did you name it Here to Stay?
That was another one. Claude came up with, we were talking again one day, and he was like, what do you think you want to name the album? And at first I thought something about After Hours or something, because it's such a smooth album. It's some up-tempo on there, but it's really some smooth, sexy kind of grooves on there. And I was like, maybe After Hours, but then he said Here to Stay, and I stopped. And I said, yeah, man, that's a good title, because there's so many. It's like entendres, double entendres to it. It's because you think about my relationship and how I feel about my wife and us being here to stay. You think about the longevity of my career that I've been blessed with. And it makes a statement that, yeah, I'm not going to go anywhere. I am very committed to R&B. I'm committed to R&B and continuing this journey because it's been good to me.
Absolutely. Over 2 decades in the industry, you are definitely here to stay. And as you can tell by the fans out there, we're not letting you go nowhere anyway. So, of course. So what's next for you? More TV, film, theater?
Yep. I really am so in love with touring and seeing the people that I want to focus on that for a period of time. But theater and acting and movies and all of that is great, because I've been doing music for movies. As a matter of fact, I'm just closing up a Hallmark Christmas movie where I have some music. I did the theme song for Divorce Court, the new theme song with my buddy Aaron Lindsay. So we are learning to marry a lot of our worlds together in different ways, and it becomes new opportunities for me. But I'm open to the right things. It's just like in this whole Sis Don't Settle thing. I've wanted to act for a long time, but the right projects didn't come. And I didn't compromise it. I would just say, hey, I'll make an appearance, or I'll do something, a smaller role, until the right thing comes. So I'm waiting for that so that there will be something that's not only impactful for my life and for me growing as an actor, learning and all that, but something that people will really enjoy and believe, a role that people believe me in.
Okay. So let people know what they can expect from Here to Stay.
Wow. Here to Stay is an album. I still call them albums, but I guess the collection. Here to Stay is an album that it was inspired by my wife. Every lyric of each song, she is the muse to. So it is really my expression of how I feel about where I am in my life right now. And what you're going to expect to hear is very smooth grooves, infectious hooks, great bass lines. Dracar Madison Wesley is the main producer for the album, but I also have Daryl Simmons on there, who is the silent partner with Babyface. He did If I Lose My Woman. He did, songs with Tony Braxton and Boyz II Men, on and on. So he put his stamp on there. The next single after Lose You is from a guy named Champ Jenkins, Darren Champ Jenkins Jr., and his father worked on my first album. So this has been a real labor of love because it's not just been about me going out and just doing songs. It's been about generationally extending opportunity to the next generation of music makers. So not only do we have Darren Jenkins Jr. and then Aaron Lindsay, who has produced, who did Stay On Your Mind with me, and he produced my Christmas album. His daughter is one of the writers on Lose You. So we are extending, the project's reach to be to have more depth than just surface and sales. It's been an opportunity to teach. I try to use everything and make it a lot deeper than just surface. And it's working. It's just working out well. And I'm glad. And to see Lose You, and this is Kennedy's first single. That's why I feel like, wow. It reminds me of when I was back at A Touch of Jazz here in Philly, giving those young writers like Vidal Davis and Andre Harris. They're huge producers now. Carvin Hagen's huge producers. But we did some those first works together.
Awesome. That's awesome. I love what you're doing. Keep making an impact on the people and spreading your message. We appreciate your time, and thank you so much for speaking with ThisIsRnB-x-Kenny. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Go get Sis Don't Settle. It's amazing. And we're going to wait for December 3rd for
Here to Stay.
Here to Stay. Thank you so much. Good night.
What would I do?